What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the TRCBY show. So today it's just more of a montage of a game that I've been playing, like a game that I've been playing for over 700 hours clocked on Steam. So it's quite a lot of hours. So we're just gonna start from the beginning, like the clips. I'm trying to make it more or less chronological from when I first started playing the game to where I am currently now, or where the game is currently now. I don't think I have much in terms of tutorials, how-tos, but it's more or less like an overall montage of things that I went through in the game. So at the very beginning of the game, you're introduced to the big bad boss battles and kind of get a little bit of the taste of the mechanics. I can't really say I did well because all of the the purple circles. I didn't know I had to block. No one knew. I didn't know. I didn't know that that was like the cue to queue up to block. But I guess that makes sense. So I totally failed it. And Clay to the rescue, of course. Clay to the rescue. Clay has been your rescue buddy throughout your entire intro journey. And he does show up, I believe, later on in some of the other story mode when you are getting your guardians or just finishing up your storylines and so forth. But he does have a amatoid that I believe you'll eventually get to use yourself as well too. But this part right here, a thought came to mind. Dual wielding hatchet. It's gonna happen. That's gonna be the next weapon. It can't be just a single hatchet or a single axe. It's gonna be like a dual wielding hatchet user. So we just got the spear out. I could see it. Look, right there. They already have the animation down for throw an axe. Just right in the eye. I think that's gonna be good. So you do meet some interesting friends along the way, like NPC friends, and it does progress you through the story a little bit better in terms of the storytelling. It's like, all right, you're all done with the newbie island, and so say goodbye, bye to all the people that you met. See ya. And then you go to your more form and you just kind of take flight. So the cool thing about this is it's going to be your character specific. So you are a little bit more engaged and intertwined in the story because it's not using a generic character. It's using your character that you customize at the very beginning to go through these cutscenes. So super helpful with that. So I started Throne and Liberty probably about, I would say, a week or so post the global go live.
Their tampering
And
caused a cursed rain to fall on
just
Earth.
playing the game from like
Plains
level
met his
1 to level
demise,
50,
and his
it
death
had
heralded Iskale's return.
really cool 2D arts like this that really threw you into the story of the game a little bit more. But I feel like once you do hit 50 and pretty much the storylines are done, you kind of miss that feeling. It's like, I made a lot of cool friends, tons of stories. In the beginning, you were invested a little bit. Now it's kind of like the grind. So, or the exploration, like this. I was on Saradoma Island. I just bounced my way all the way up to the tippity top of that volcano mountain just because I wanted to see if I could reach the teleporter, but I couldn't. So I had to wait for the whale like everybody else. So maybe when you do start playing the game, there won't be like a huge traffic of individuals here as the beginning. But take a ride. Like it's okay because if there's nobody on the, I guess the whale. I guess maybe there's no competition for gathering. I'm not sure about that, just to be honest, because I do know that I was able to gather certain things while other players were not. Maybe it is just on a timer refresh for yourself individually, but it doesn't hurt taking the whale to Saradoma Island as well too, because you could get some materials. You could just gather stuff, mine stuff right from the whale's back. So don't jump too soon. Some people may. This is not the spot. So if you see somebody jumping like that person right there, right here from the map, they're not gonna make it, and everybody's gonna laugh. And I did, and everybody there just laughed, like, and it's pretty funny. That's too bad. So yeah, you don't want to jump right now because you're not gonna make it. It's way too far. The whale will get a little bit closer. I decided to jump right about here, but I believe the whale gets even closer. So I was just kind of praying. Like, I think I can make it, and it is going to be extremely close. Is it going to be just as close as me diving off of the mountaintop? I don't know. Can we make it? We are sinking in. We're sinking. No, oh, we just made it. Oh my gosh, that was so close. But yeah. Again, storyline quest. You know, you're beating guys, you go through the stories, you're leveling up to 50. Even if you do hit level 50, you may have to go back and finish those story quests. Finishing the story quests, I would say, is extremely important. You not only get free loot, essentially things that you need, it's pretty much those upgrade armor, upgrade weapons, like those stones. Definitely helpful, and it's not abundant. So you really do need to grind for those once you exhaust them all. And you want to make sure that you are very frugal with them by utilizing the transfer system, transferring the greens to blue, the blue then to your epic. You don't want to go just wasting, those particular epic stones because those are harder to come by. And clay, I don't know. This particular scene, it just makes me wonder about Clay. This smirk right here, that looks a little troubling. What's up with that smirk? Did anybody notice that? I'm not sure. And he's like, and then of course he gets like entangled in the darkness. But if you want that, no one knows. I think Clay's gonna be the next big bad. That's my thing. There's gonna be a dungeon for Clay. Clay's gonna be the boss of that. So yeah, that's the Amatoid of Clays. You eventually will get that as well too. So Amatoids are little pets, and you could also send them out in your like AFK, I guess, like overnight search for items. It's not the biggest like wow, but it is something. So we just wrapped up the Ting Halloween event. As you can see, like this is when it was first introduced. We didn't really know what we were doing, and most of the time it was just a random group that just kind of went in there. So just Ting like aggroing everything away and not knowing what to really do, what pumpkins to really pick, and so forth, or even not even blocking. And everybody got shot off. And then you go flying. But that was actually a pretty fun event. So if they have another event like that, I highly suggest that you do participate in it because they gave you tons and tons of materials. Like the most important material that I thought was these trait unlock stones, and you could trade in weekly, of course, for those trait unlock stones, but those were super important, super beneficial. So let's just say you get a really good weapon or whatever it is that you want to unlock the trait on. Trait unlock stones will save you so much in terms of either time or lucent. So it could save you both. So lucent is just an auction house currency that is utilized. You could buy it with real money, for in-game loosened currency. But again, tons of things to do. They introduced the arch boss, which this particular one is Queen Bellinger, and she reminds me of that like a 80s or 90s movie. I just don't remember the name of that movie. Where it's like a bunch of worms in the ground. I mean, like the size of Queen right here, Bellinger. It's I just don't remember. So if you guys remember the name of that 80s or 90s movie, like where everybody gets eaten, Tremors. I think it's Tremors. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's the name of it. And they had like six like versions or of that, but sequel. But yeah, so Queen Bellinger was introduced as the arch boss, and everybody's still dying because that's just how we roll. It was just introduced, and then they also introduced Trevant as well too. So this is a big bad. So these arch bosses, it's like literally like server wide. It takes quite a bit of team effort from everybody to knock it down and make it worth it. Worth it. But then they also have conflict times as well too, which makes it super interesting. Where it's like a whole server versus maybe like the top allied servers to take it down. So that is fun. So this particular one is the first, so it is peaceful and there is no like teleporters. It's just open. It's an arch boss. You don't go into any particular portal for this particular first one over here. So I think Tevent. So Tevent may take a little bit longer than Queen. I don't know. It's either because of his charging moves, his like AOE like stuns and like flights or whatever it is. But I just feel that he takes a little bit longer, or maybe he has a little bit more HP. I'm not quite sure, but or animation just to do things. But it seems like it's a little bit longer. I could be wrong though. I haven't really timed anything just yet. But yeah, again, tons of things to do. Once you hit 50s, like there's lots of stuff to do. Like if you're bored, stuck, and don't really know what to do at level 50,
I can
hit
get
up a
everyone
guild.
in here now.
Find a guild that is
Alright,
Let's
let's
go to
go.
sit
either
though.
welcoming of new
Oh, we gotta
players,
sit.
a
Get this up.
guild that
Sit,
is
pose.
I'm in a
active
pose.
in either both
Okay,
Got my
pose
fist
is
out like
fine.
PvP and
Chat down.
PvE.
That's good.
They
Perfect.
could run you through
Let's
dungeons.
go.
They could teach you the mechanics.
Yeah, boys.
Now they have
I know.
T2, which is
You
tier
know
2
what? That's kind of
dungeons,
midget's
where you
personality. It's
really do
okay.
need to have
It tracks.
We'll
better
forever
gear
remember this one,
to
boys.
progress through
Our
it,
first big
Thanks,
and
Rama.
HP
accomplishment.
does
It's
help.
just shit. If they
But
hit us here,
the
it's on
traded
site. If
stuff
not, we do
definitely
our
like
own
helps
thing and work. Try to
helps
work
you out a little
together.
bit
I'm
more.
trying to figure out what
So over
PvP
here,
we
this
can
is
do.
our first siege. So this is like the servers for a siege, like a siege
Because
battle.
Vivi's
So
here and
we
he's
don't
gonna fucking
really
say,
know. It wasn't what anything like that I was
You guys feel
expecting.
like we're going?
I just didn't YouTube any videos
alright,
of
it's on site.
sieges to kind of get me
Alright.
prepared for it. It was just
Push
more
me
of
up.
a
What the
wing
fuck?
it and see what happens.
We're fucking them up. We're
So
fucking them up.
we are
Yeah,
very
we did.
what is it?
Oh, then
Wait,
Enthusiastic, I
wait.
would say,
Hold
in
on,
the
hold on,
voice
hold on.
chat.
message your people.
So
Message your
everybody's
people.
very
If they
excited.
take the
Everybody's
throne,
just like, all
then
right, what do we
go
do? Where we
charge.
going?
That's where they're going
And,
right now. They're going to defend the
should we go
throne.
here? Should we go
Yeah, all the
there? So
Reds
we're
are
kind of
gonna
making
pull out.
To the
calls
throne.
on the
Let's go, let's
fly,
go. Everyone to the throne.
and just like, all right, let's just
Oh,
go.
that kill. We gotta kill that
And
Titan too.
it
Let's
was
go. Let's go.
pretty
Let's
fun.
go.
But
You know,
for the most part,
we can
there's
kill them
just
from
like
behind.
a
We can kill
lot
them from behind.
happening.
Kill the Reds from
Again, it's
behind.
like
Yeah,
a
kill the Reds. We don't
server-wide
know. They have
event.
no idea. They have no idea.
Tons of things to do. There's just a
Kill
lot
all
of
the Reds. Kill all
people
the Reds, boys.
Oh, here
all
we
over the
go.
place here.
That's what I'm
Where am
talking
I
about.
So
going?
as you can see, like if you're not an allied, if you're not a friendly
We red.
allied
You are fucking
or
up.
a guild in any sense, you will be red. So
Hondo, we're good.
red
Done.
I got you,
versus
Hondo.
not red
Thank you.
essentially. So everybody who's red
Done.
is a target and it's open for attack.
Hold on, we got a red behind us.
I
We got
think
a red
that's what we
behind
were
us. I'm gonna
talking about
fucking take
before.
that
Like
pussy
we
out.
don't know if this player is
See him.
friendly or not.
He's right here. He's right here.
But yeah,
Nice,
like I'm
guys.
not really sure about
Why
this
is my
one.
guy just running forward?
Still, are we
Let's go,
supposed to
boys.
use this
Did we run through that
platform to
toilet?
jump up into
Yeah,
the
I think
castle
so.
to get
Alright, I'm
inside the
all fucked
castle?
up, bro. I don't know what to do.
I'm
I
not
can't
sure.
do anything.
We can
Like
fly up.
I'm
We can
thinking
fly up.
that could be the case.
We can
Can we?
fly up. We
But
can grab.
again, brand new,
There's a red guy up there.
siege, first
Okay,
time,
let's
and I
do it.
guess
I
it has
can't
a timer
fucking
until it
stop. Whoa.
There you
disappears.
go. Let's go. Let's go.
This entrance over here is the sewer entrance. We didn't really go into the sewer
Yeah, I'm
entrance.
blitzing around.
He's done.
Kind of just stuck outside a little bit more.
Dude, I can't
But
fucking do anything.
it
What the
is
hell's going
yeah,
on?
there's a lot of excitement, of course.
Alright, let's
You
get
know,
people
the
behind.
siege, a lot of things to
Let's
do,
get the people behind first. Let's
making
get
sure
people behind
that
first.
we are coordinated, staying
Hit escape,
together,
Evan.
and
Hit
hitting a
F11 and hit
target
escape.
or a particular
It
target
takes some seconds,
together.
but it's okay.
I'm dead now.
And yeah,
My whole game just
so
fucking went
siege is
crazy.
just
Wait, there's an entrance here though.
it's a huge PvP.
Yo, we're
So
getting all
if
these
you are
rights
big into
front over here.
PvP,
Follow
this
me.
is what it is. It is a
Oh, look, there's a combo in
server-wide
here too.
guild
Nice.
slash alliance event.
Yo, this guy
So
next to us, but next
you
to our
know, make
spawn.
sure that you have a
Where?
guild that's active.
here with
If this
Bravos.
is something that
Yo,
you'd like to
coming in,
do,
coming in.
maybe apply
Yo,
for a
he's
guild
just
Where
that
you at?
is
Bravo's coming in by the
welcoming
golems,
of either
guys.
new players
Alright,
or
we're going.
people that
There's
like
people
to
behind
do
us. Be
PvP.
careful. Don't let our guards down. There's
So
people behind us.
lots of calls.
There's reds
As
behind
you
us,
can hear,
boys.
there's lots of excitement. So there may be
75 million
every guild and every chat is different. So you may have
There's a bunch of
very
reds lurking
active
right
team
outside our
members,
spawn.
or you may not. So
They're
your
getting me. They keep
your
spawn trapping
chatter
me.
could be
Fuck,
muted
my
in
bad.
some Discord.
That's all good, bro.
So we utilize Discord to make our calls, but
Does anybody know
depending
how
on
many
where
attacks we're
you
doing right
are
now?
and
Do
what
we need to go
server
for
you're
the
in
castle, or
Discord,
are we
it
just
may
holding
or
down
may
for
not
this?
be
Right outside.
just like this. So it may just
Yo, take siege ruins too, bro. We
be
need to take
very
siege
interesting.
ruins too.
So yeah, again,
They
like
keep
we're making
respawning there
calls
because they have it.
on the fly. We're just going as
The
is.
enemy team
Like
has
right
siege
there
ruins
to
too,
me,
bro. We
both
have
of
siege
them were
ruins 1.
red,
We gotta take siege
and
ruins
one
2.
red was just fighting another red.
Let's go.
And
Everyone take
it's
siege ruins 2.
it is what it is. Like it's kind of
That's
like
why
a
they keep
free
respawning.
for all.
Everyone is siege
Again,
ruin
unless
too.
you are
They keep
part of
respawning
an
here. We call
ally
them cunts.
and you're
I'm dead.
ally of
Storm
other
siege
guilds.
ruins 2. We gotta take that
But
shit.
that is more or less
Got that
the
one.
siege. A lot of activities going on, a lot of PvPs. You can
There's a guy
capture
here up top.
these spawns over here, which
We
is
gotta
here.
fight to
Like
4
and
because
then
they
you can
keep spawning.
capture or spawn golems to
Yeah, they
attack the
went from 4 to
castle. There's
fucking.
like 4 major spawn points in front of town, so you gotta kind of pick whichever
Oh, get you
ones
caught up, get you caught up.
would work best for you and your team. But yeah, that's
Someone's fucking fireball
pretty
rugging
much
up.
the guild siege. I guess the siege in general,
Nice.
right? It's not
Me and
just
Tracy just
guild
took out
siege.
guild
It's
leader.
like the siege,
Nice. Go
and
for
the
this other one
siege
over
is
here.
just for
There's another
everybody.
guild leader right here.
Go for this other one
So
right here.
Oh,
Just go behind
tons
the
of
rock.
things to do. We got lots more red
Smoke 'em.
than
Got her.
green, I would
Later,
say.
bitch. I was
And
the real
Yo,
leader.
this guy.
for whatever reason, yeah, he still had
Dead. Another
a
one.
I need mana,
timer
I need
for
mana, I need
not
mana.
being active. So you do get a
Dead.
Dude,
like a
let's
safety
go, boys.
respawn essentially, like a few second safety
Another one
respawn
hiding over here.
where you can make it
One.
a little bit
Another guild
further
leader.
closer to the castle than you would if you didn't have any of that safety net.
Sleep him. Sleep him.
So
I'm gonna put a sleep on him once I get range.
yeah,
He's dead in 2 seconds.
I don't really know what I'm doing.
This leader
I
is
guess
dying.
that's pretty much it. I'm just kind of attacking guys, like whatever guys
my
that I
God,
could
murdering so
attack,
many
I would
people.
attack.
You
But
guys can clear them out. I can
this
take
shit.
three.
is,
I'm taking 3. I'm
you
taking
know,
3.
I guess the
Nice,
newer
nice,
or the
nice.
older
We're
version
killing
of
the
my
guild leader right now.
PvP build.
Kill me
We
later.
got 3.
So
We
for
got 3.
like
They
siege,
took 2.
I kind of use the wand just because I want to heal myself.
It's actually really
And
fun.
just to
We
kind of
got it
stay
2
alive
seconds
for
here.
the
It's
most part.
ours.
So instead of
Let's
going
go.
full
Let's
blown,
go!
you know,
Mi hoyo,
whichever.
Man, we didn't
But
get any
it
loot
does
though.
help,
That was fun.
you know,
Yeah, you're
not
supposed to
Not
get
count
because
the
that.
we weren't
respawn
inside.
and running
We weren't
back to where
inside
your
to.
team member is, where you can heal yourself. So this is the siege, or this is the post siege, town. It's all pretty much destroyed. The walls are knocked down. But yeah, you could definitely like play with a bunch of like individuals in siege, in dungeons, or you could build a character that does well soloing. You could just solo yourself and just grind out things for you. Like I like to solo sometimes as well too, just because it's sometimes you need that downtime, but other times it's good to group up, do dungeons together. This was like one of the first Carmine dungeons of the day, and this is the brand new like chamber of like torture or torture chamber. And if you want to do dungeons, go out and just kill random stuff. Sometimes you'll find a goblin, like I just did. I found like 2 goblins actually on that particular day. So get loot. Just join in. There is lots to do. Like pretty much during prime time, every hour or so, or every other hour, there's always something to do. So during prime time, you'll have an event schedule. You'll do either non-world boss, then world boss, then non-world boss, and so forth. So, and then maybe a break in between for like dinner, I suppose, right? But pretty much that's the cycle during prime time. It's just everybody's just jumping in, doing world boss or non-world boss. Or during at nighttime, you could go out to Saradoma Island and look for treasure chests. The treasure chest will replenish your dimensional T1 tokens, which will give you additional runs. And maybe you'll run into people that are willing to help you like this. I thought that was super cool. I was like, wow, really? For me? That's amazing. So there are, friendly people out there as well too. You just have to be part of a community and just have fun, interact with the people around you, and it's always good just to like say hello and just you know do what you do and enjoy the game. I think there's tons of opportunities to meet people, tons of opportunity to grow, and as a community in a sense. So just be mindful of that and just say thank you to those people that help you. So thank you everybody. I hope everybody's doing well, staying safe and healthy, and peace.